Welcome to the United States of Paranormal Podcast. Sit down and buckle up for an enlightening ride through everything cryptid, creepy, and paranormal.
Hello, all of my paranormal freaks out there. It is I, Golden J, hanging out with
the Rocker Chick
and
J-Dub.
And we are the United States of Paranormal. We are looking at the last show of 2023.
Dun, dun, dun.
Do you realize what that means?
What?
That means you guys have been with me for almost an entire year.
Oh my gosh.
How does that make you feel?
Time flies when you're having fun.
Absolutely does. We have had some amazing things happen this year. We got to talk with Southern Indiana Paranormal Society. We've had Larissa on. We've had Peter on a couple times. What else have we done this year? I know I'm putting you on the spot, ain't I? You weren't even thinking about this.
I know. What the hell? We had Logan on.
Logan was on, yep.
Yeah.
Your sister.
Yeah. And my brother-in-law, yeah.
Yep.
And your husband,
Esteban.
See how we forget.
We're old.
Well, I think that if we do this so much, we lose context of where we were at and what we did. And I know that the other thing we did this year is we started the other side. So, with Tusop leaving back in, what was it, March or April. And then Logan coming back for the other side, we started that. And when me and him do that and we sat down, I've got to go back over just the whole month and go back over everything that we did because of the recording schedules comparative to, when the episodes come out compared to when we do that show. And there's a lot really to think about when you sit down and do that. That's pretty much why Logan's got the lead for that show because
you can just fill in
sheets of notes. And I'm like, yeah, I remember we talked about that.
Yeah. Well, it's good because you were present.
Yes.
For all of them, and to get somebody else's on the other side.
The other side.
He's on the other side of the United States.
Right.
He's down below.
He's down under, mate. It's just crazy all the things we've done this year, and we have some big things planned for next year. We've got some big stuff to announce. One of the announcements we've already made, we are going to be live January 10th for our 100th episode.
Woo!
I'm super stoked for that. So as we get into just before the turn of the year, I'm going to sit down and figure out exactly how to get everybody that link so they know where it's at and all that stuff. So get all that figured out because we've been so busy with other things that I haven't really studied it a ton. So I just kind of looked over it, but I'm excited to be able to go live and talk to the fans, on the spot, if that, in the chat rooms and stuff like that. And hopefully we can get Logan to come on, because I do believe
sure
he can do
will.
I do believe he can do a call in, so he can be live with us. So I believe so.
You believe so?
I believe so, Logan. Prep yourself, little bitch. You're about to be on. I'm sure I'll hear that later on the other side. You little bitch. So yeah, super excited. I hope everybody had a great Christmas. We are actually recording this prior to the Christmas holiday. So, did you guys have a good Christmas?
Yeah.
Wait, I haven't had it
yet. But we have not also had New Year's yet either. So,
no.
I'm
sure it'll all be great.
What are your plans for New Year's, J-Dub?
We'll probably go to my cousin's bar, the Silver Inn.
They having a big to do for the.
She hasn't posted anything yet, but probably a band or something.
I see that some old friends of ours, Total Head Case, is going to be there. Mm-hmm. Is that in January?
Yeah.
Or I saw the posting for that the other day. So
Yeah.
are you going to go down for that?
I don't know. If we don't have the kids, probably.
Right on. I have yet to see Chris in Total Head Case. He's my former lead singer from the band Booty Rain.
You'll have to go.
I need to go. I need to go see him. But, you know, I'm getting ready for a couple hibernation weekends where we lock the door and do nothing but run around in our underwear, right? Yeah.
Yep. That would be the weekend after New Year's, right? Because we got to go to Scott's. We do our annual Trowbridge party on New Year's Eve.
There's always a shot ski involved. Somehow I got out of it last year. I'm hoping to get out of it again.
It's because
this year.
Tina took your spot on all of them.
Yeah, she also took the spot of the vomiter.
Yep.
Ew.
Yep.
Yeah, so Tina, Rocker Chick's one of her best friends. We've been drinking with her for years and years, and no matter what we fed her, what drinks we gave her, she would never get, rip roaring drunk or sick. And we took her to Cheers Lounge up in South Bend one time, and she got rip roaring drunk there. And we jumped in the truck. It's just 4 a.m., because being in the band, we always stayed for all the bands and did all that shit. And as we're leaving, she's in the back seat of my truck, and she's like, "You need to let me out right now." So I pull into this parking lot, and the door on her side doesn't open from the inside because it was broke. So I jumped out. I opened the door. She fell out of the truck onto her hands and knees and proceeded just to vomit everywhere.
Ew. Did you yell, "Puke and rally"?
No. You know what I did do? I looked up and went, "Oh, we're in the parking lot of the Hilton."
That's funny.
So, So I've only heard of the infamous tale of Tina puking twice, and that was the night of Cheers, and then this last New Year's. And apparently she coated the walls in the hallway.
Going to the bathroom.
Well, my cousin and her husband and I all went and saw Blue October in Auburn. Mm-hmm. And she drank so much. And on our way home, she was just leaned out the window puking. But it was all coming back through the window all over me in the back seat.
God,
so here I am with my coat up over my head like this, trying not to get puked on the whole way home. Whole way home.
Yuck.
Yeah, her husband had to get out and clean his truck that same night and everything. And, oh, man. And his truck is immaculate. It's so clean, and he was so mad.
I bet.
But it was funny. So she'll never live it down. Yeah.
Yeah, usually you don't. Mm-mm. Usually don't.
How many times I've held your hair back while you puked?
Yeah. I think my funniest one was laying underneath the tree and boogie, 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 boogie.
Yeah, funniest for you maybe, not for the rest of us. Had to chase you down, and then poor Chad had to carry your ass back in the house.
As I'm talking about Porky's, does anybody remember that? The guy in the
oh my gosh,
falling into the open grave and boogie, 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 boogie.
Yeah, this is my life. This is what she does.
Oh, it hasn't happened in a long time. A long time.
That's funny.
Too old to drink that much.
I don't know, man. The last couple times I've drank, it was like a couple drinks, and I'm like, maybe I might be done already.
We know. You had that one. You were like,
wee, tipsy.
And then then there's other times where I can drink 3 or 4 or 5, and it doesn't faze me at all, and it's really weird. I don't understand.
Yeah, the drinks we had on Sunday or Saturday.
Yeah.
Is it like you eat when you eat more?
It's
or something that soaks it up?
It has to be. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I remember one round years and years ago where we were out hunting for gigs, for the band that I was in at the time, and we had appointments at all these different bars, and we just made a giant circle. And of course, every appointment you have, the bar owner wants to sit down and have a beer with you. He wants to buy you a beer. You're here to talk about business, and he's like, "Let me buy you a beer." That was a lot of beer.
Yeah.
Because I think we made like 7 or 8 stops, but we
Wow.
ate nothing. But we just had like bags of pork rinds in the car.
Oh.
We would just eat pork rinds to soak it all up.
Gross.
I'm gonna tell you right now, that's the way to go.
rinds
Pork
are
rinds,
gross.
and the pork rinds are delicious.
No.
Yum. Some of them are
The United States of Paranormal at gmail.com. Do you
like
pork rinds?
No.
So last week's episode was I called it the exorcism of, and that was what that's what I called it, because you handled like 4 or 5 different exorcisms, which as this recording it came out today.
Right.
I had a phone call today
Uh-oh.
about your episode.
Oh, God. All right, let's hear it.
All right, they said nothing about the episode itself.
Oh,
okay.
No, it was from Colton. If you know Colton, you know he's from the Call Guys. He is part of the Golden Mojo Empire family. So he listens to all of the podcasts. I don't, I mean, he re-listens to the Call Guys on Monday, Golden Image, Tusop,
nice.
all of them. So he is a very loyal member of the Empire for sure. And that's why his nickname is Vanilla Thunder. But he called to tell me that he actually knows a priest who actually did an exorcism.
Oh, wow.
And he was telling me a little bit about it, about how when he was exorcising, and I know I'm probably going to get this wrong, Colton, you have to forgive me, that when the demon was leaving, because the lights in this building were flickering and all kinds of stuff like that, and as he was leaving, the lights would fade as he was going away. He said it was really bizarre, but
Oh, wow.
but and then we just went on to have a full blown conversation about the Catholic Church and exorcisms and all kinds of stuff like that. Colton's very insightful on a lot of that stuff. He's a big part of the church. He plays in the church band, so he has a lot of knowledge in that area. But probably ought to get him on one of these days and talk about some of that kind of bizarre stuff. Maybe on our next chiller filler, maybe we'll call him up and was like, "Hey, you want to do this with us?
Yeah.
It'd be fun." He needs to be on a Tusop so the world can find out about Colton and his bad opinions.
Sometimes.
No, we have a lot of fun with Colton. If you've ever heard us say, "Suck it, Colton," that's because
I've only said it once and I regret it.
you said it one time.
I said it one time.
You want to say it again?
No. No.
You sure?
Yeah.
Okay. Positive?
Yep.
All right. So yeah, happy New Year, everybody. We hope you have a safe and happy holiday coming up, and I just want to get that out now in case I forget at the end of the episode.
Happy New Year.
We're thank you for being with us this entire year, and thank you to all the guests and the people who have put in the effort to make Tusop what it is, and we look forward to bringing you some new exciting stuff next year. So hang with us. You never know what we're going to bring, and then we got some things to bring.
Bringing it.
Bringing it.
Yes, we've been doing
Brought.
It's already been brought in. All right, J-Dub, what do you got for me?
Okay, so let me ask you this.
Oh, she's got this one memorized.
It's New Year's. So what is your New Year's resolution?
Shit.
And go.
And go.
I don't really make resolutions because to me resolutions are basically a setup for failure. I've never done a resolution that didn't fail within the first couple months, and why set yourself up for that? My thing for next year is to be a better business owner and learn about being better at business, better at marketing, better at all the things that I need to make the Golden Mojo Empire better. And that means lifting up the shows that we do and getting. I need to get people surrounding me to help with it and not take on as much myself.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. You want me to dig out my old marketing book? I got an A+ in marketing.
Absolutely.
Okay, I'll look for it.
Let's go through that bad boy.
Mm-hmm.
All right, who's next? I went first.
I will go along with that. I need to help you more with this. Not particularly what you're doing right now, but with things that I can help you with. Coming up with ideas and...
You're going to help me implement some of those ideas and not just give me ideas and tell me to go do them?
All
right.
We'll try.
I can't
I'm
ask
gonna
for
try.
any more.
That's all
I
can
can't
say.
ask for any more.
I did give you one idea.
Yep.
So
Yep. And then we're going to roll with it as soon as I finish editing all this stuff that I'm editing.
So
one piece at a time.
yeah, I don't. I'm the same way with him. Anytime I've made a resolution, I haven't kept it, so I don't make them.
Yeah.
But we make plans for the next year.
Yeah.
The deck was a plan for for 2023.
Nice.
I think we accomplished that one.
conquered
Yeah.
Rocker chick conquered.
You held the tape measure.
Yeah, you
I
held
did.
the
Did a fine job.
You were the supervisor.
You know how many fucking people are like, did you hire somebody to do that? I'm like, fuck no, we did it. And they're like, what? I go, me and Bobby did. We had Gunner helped design it and, kind of get the woods and stuff, wood all separated and what we needed. But when it came down to it, all the elbow grease was me and the rocker chick.
Mm.
Rocker chick.
We did a lot of screwing on that deck.
A lot.
All right. How about you? Do you make resolutions or do you make plans?
I make plans.
Yeah. So what do you
Yeah.
got planned for next year?
I want to fix my stalls in my barn,
Right on.
and I want a deck. But
Oh.
that probably won't happen, but yeah.
I can hold a tape measure.
Yeah?
Pretty good with a screw gun too. Just saying.
Not necessarily can you read the tape measure, but he holds it. You've gotten
Listen.
much better. Sorry.
Listen, I'm not gonna lie, listeners. I bought a tape measure that actually gives me all the fucking little things on there.
Oh, my gosh.
It is a beautiful thing. I nailed it every time.
Boy.
You've seen my deck.
Yeah, I see your deck.
It's a very large deck. You were on my deck a little bit ago.
I was. Whoa. All of us were.
Oh, hey. Hey. Anyway,
Even Ozzy. He's been on it a lot.
he does. He tried to piss on it the other day.
Jeremy's like, don't piss on my deck.
It's true. I yelled at him. Poor little guy. Well, cool. Seriously, United States Paranormal at gmail.com. Send us what your plans or resolutions are for next year. We'd love to hear them.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Their resolution should be, emailing and giving us stories.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Their own stories or stories that they know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot involved in all that. The emails, and then I have to remember we have the emails, and I have to remember to read the emails.
Hey, do we have any emails?
We don't.
Aw, no emails.
Come on, people.
Sad.
Well, let me double check,
Everybody's
but I'm pretty
busy.
sure we have no emails.
It's a holiday season. Everybody's
No,
busy.
and to be 100% honest, we are at that lull in the year where everybody's busy and everybody's got a lot of shit going on.
Mm-hmm.
And
Nobody wants to
yeah.
listen to paranormal
Yeah.
during the holiday season.
Yeah.
it's true.
I'm like watching Christmas movies and then watching Ghost Hunters. Or
Yeah.
this is, yeah,
It's a little weird.
it's a little weird.
It's a little weird, but yeah, I know that a lot of our regular listeners who may be behind will come back and catch up, and hopefully we'll get more emails.
Yeah.
All right, are we ready to start today's episode story?
Yeah. We are. Are you ready?
I don't know. I'm just I've got a bunch of notes here. I'm just gonna kind of wing it.
That's That's what we do all the time.
Pretty much. I do have a couple stories I'm going to read word for word, but for the most part, you know how much I love to do. I've done Haunted Indiana. I've done Haunted Montana.
Mm-hmm.
Today,
Where are you going?
Utah.
Ooh.
I'm going to tell you right now, I picked Utah like out of thin air. I'm like, Utah. Let's try Utah. There is a lot of fucking shit that goes on out there.
Oh, I bet.
That is like story after story after story after story. So I just picked a couple that I thought were interesting, like I've done always. But if you know what's in Utah, and I didn't cover this, it is not in my story, but if you know what is in Utah, we are going to get to a story of this next year. In 2024, the three of us are going to
Utah?
What's in
Utah. Fictitiously.
Oh, okay.
But we're going to all study this.
Let's see if I can get them to guess what it is.
What the fuck?
Skinwalkers.
See? Woo!
Skinwalker Ranch is in
Yes.
Utah. And, that is probably one of the biggest, stories out of Utah. Yeah, look at, she's like pulling her. Of course, on audio that worked out really well. It's just a big fucking blank space. You're such a dork. I love you. You know that. Wouldn't have it anyway. So anyways, we are going out to Utah. We're going to start off at a little place called Moon Lake. So obviously, if you're... Have you ever seen pictures of Utah besides whatever you saw on Skinwalker Ranch or whatever? Utah is beautiful, man.
Yeah.
Lots of mountains and stuff like that. So Moon Lake is an absolutely gorgeous place. The lake, they say, is like glass most of the time. There's hardly a lot of wind on it. I mean, it's just insanely beautiful. And they have a campground there. Now, from what I could tell, the campground is kind of primitive. It's not like you're not going to take the fifth wheel out there and park it and hook it up to the water in the sewer, because it's pretty much just a
Tent
picnic
camping.
table and you plop your tent down, from what I
So
could tell.
You can't go glamping.
We're not glamping
Right, okay.
on Moon Lake, but it's a very popular campground in the campsites areas down there. But they have said, and it's a little funny because it kind of goes to the fact that it really happens only when you're by yourself at Moon Lake, that there is the ghost of a young girl. I think they said she appears to be about 7 years old. If you're sitting there on the lake, she will walk up to you while you're like fishing or just hanging out. She'll be shivering. Her lips are blue from the cold. She's soaking wet. And I guess it might even some say she might be a little bloated.
Ew.
Like she looked like she has drowned in that lake. And she'll come up and she'll be crying and she's looking for her family. And it's a child. So what's the first thing you do? You reach for her and she vanishes right in front of you.
Oh, wow.
I went digging for this little girl. There is nothing on her. There's no name. There's no any record that I could find where there's record of a little girl dying in that lake or whatever. She's just there.
Maybe it was so old that
be.
records are lost or
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But I could not find anything. Campers also say when they get into their tents at night and they can hear splashing and sobbing with rapid patter of footsteps running through their campsite.
Ew.
But that's not all that's in Moon Lake. Besides the ghost of the little girl, they say that Moon Lake is the home of a water-dwelling cryptid that looks like a giant serpent. And once again, not a lot of fucking information on this cryptid, but I did find a little short piece that said they call the lake monster Mooney,
Mooney.
and that it is very, very similar to to Nessie from Loch Ness.
Mm-hmm.
So they said that I told you how there's glass. They said every once in a while you just start seeing that ripple through the water, and then they can so often they see Mooney out there.
They say how deep this lake is.
Yes. The nature preserve, the people that the DNR, they claim that the lake is 75 feet deep, but other people claim that it's bottomless, and that's why the monster is able to hide, because it goes down there and hides down in the caves or whatever's down way down there. But yeah, so it's all on who you talk to.
Right.
DNR says 75 feet. And other people say it's bottomless.
Well, it could be 75 feet, but there could be caves that run
That's true.
out of
Yeah.
it too. So
Yeah, it all got to feed in somewhere,
You
right?
just never know.
So there you go.
So
That
alright.
is Moon Lake, and that is, it's in Utah.
Yay.
Moon Lake
I
in
really want to
Utah.
go there.
Yeah.
See this lake?
You do. They say it's fucking gorgeous.
Oh, I'm sure it is.
They say it's unbelievable. I might go there. Just sit out there, fish, drink a beer, see if I can see a ghost child. I don't have to fish, but I could pretend like I was fishing to see a
Drink
ghost
beer
child.
and just sit on the
He
water.
drank a beer and fall asleep.
Oh. Well, it's hard to ghost hunt when you go to bed at 9:30.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true.
All right, I'm going to take you to Fremont Lake, which is in the actual Great Salt Lake. This one's a real short. Apparently, along with the foul-smelling, foggy banks of Fremont Island, individuals have cited the ghost of the late 19th century grave-digging Jean Baptiste. You like that?
Said it quickly.
Did not pronounce that properly. I don't know if it's Jean or Jean because it's spelled Jean. Is that Jean?
Usually.
Yeah, so let's go with Jean.
Oh.
Jean Valjean. Can you name that movie? Name that book?
No.
Jean Valjean.
Is it a scary movie?
No.
Then no.
There are other movies out there, J-Dub, that you could watch that are not scary, that are brilliant.
Negative.
One of the first books I ever read, cover to cover. Les Miserables. Jean Valjean.
I've heard of it.
They say that he wanders the moonlit nights. Jean was accused of disturbing graves of over 300 deceased, specializing in collecting their clothing.
Ew.
So he would dig up graves and steal their fucking clothes.
Was he
Wow.
homeless?
Yeah.
Maybe he needed their clothes.
He was
but
just a
that's gross.
collector of blue jeans and
He
t-shirts.
was a collector of dead people clothes.
He was actually convicted. I take that back. He was awaiting trial, so they stuck him out on this island, on Fremont Island, while they were waiting for the trial to happen, and he just vanished from the island. They don't know where he went, but people still say they see him wandering the island with just hordes of clothes, like bundles of clothes.
Wow.
What do you think?
Weird.
That's
a little crazy.
Yeah, that is weird.
It made me think of in Home Alone 2, the pigeon lady where she had all those coats
Yep.
on.
Well, it was cold in Central Park.
Well, I know, but that's just what made me think of it.
Did you ever notice that? Have you watched that movie? When he goes to hug her, she has no bird shit on her whatsoever.
Yep.
Yeah,
Well, they wouldn't shit on her.
but she
She
did.
feeds
But they
them.
did. But they did shit on her because they would just sit on her. So they just shat on her.
Okay.
No.
They loved her.
My granddaughter loves me too, but that doesn't mean she ain't gonna pee on me. So yeah, that's a little quick snippet of Fremont Island in the Great Salt Lake. It must stink out there.
Yeah.
It sounds like it's musty and blah.
All those dead people clothes.
I'm
It's
telling you.
stinky.
You need to really throw him some fucking right guard or
Febreze.
Febreze. A bottle of Febreze. All right. You ready to go on to the Ghost of Rock Canyon?
Yeah. Yes.
All right. So this is interesting too. Rock Canyon is in Provo, Utah. Have you guys ever heard of Provo?
I don't think so.
Me neither until I started doing this research. And just a side note that has nothing to do with the Ghost of Rock Canyon, but there is a theory that Provo is like a vortex, has a vortex in it. And it was really interesting, but I didn't get enough to really do a whole story. But there's a guy out there that does tours and stuff like that. And he claims that in Provo, the town they're overrun with gnomes. And there you can see like gnomes running around at night. And it all revolves around this vortex and Bigfoot. And it was a whole thing. But it was all revolved around this one guy. And, I tried to find separate stories about this, but it all come back to this one guy. So I just kind of dropped it. But I didn't think it would be, enough to keep. I didn't know if it was true enough or whether this was shit he was making up in order to sell his ghost tours through Provo. But I still thought it was kind of cool. It was like, we don't really talk much about gnomes,
No.
I think the closest we ever came to was puckwudgies, but... So anyways, Rock Canyon is in Provo, Utah. Of course, this canyon has a dark, sinister side. It's riddled with all kinds of shit history, and people being murdered and stuff like that. So in 1850, after years of conflict, a battle sprung up between the Latter-day Saints settlers and 70 Native Americans led by Big Elk. After many of the Native American warriors were wounded or killed, the remaining Native Americans fled into Rock Canyon. There at the mouth of the canyon, Big Elk died from his wounds. And when Big Elk's I gotta say that very slowly. Big Elk's wife saw the settlers approaching the canyon, she allegedly tried to climb down from the cliff to escape, but she fell to her death.
Aww.
So, in turn, that means that this great canyon that all these rock climbers like to go out and climb are also getting about halfway up and falling off to their deaths.
Oh.
So, take that for what it is. Whether they're getting up there and being pushed off, or if it was the ghosts of the Native Americans that are trying to still ward off the settlers, and I don't know, but it's just a little weird. But they said there's been many rock climbers who have died at Rock Canyon. There's also evidence of satanic rituals, and the bodies of murder victims also have been allegedly found there.
Oh.
Aside from tragic deaths, strange noises, and unnerving feelings.
Ew.
Those unnerving feelings.
Yeah.
Also, according to multiple sources, a ghost has been spotted in Rock Canyon on several occasions. It's a man dressed in 1970s clothing. Hikers have reported seeing the man standing atop the rocky points, staring at the people as they pass. Then, without warning, the man plunges down the cliff, running or gliding down the canyon wall at impossible angles. You know what I'm saying?
Weird.
He's running down the side of this fucking mountain. Just as he's about to hit the ground, he fucking vanishes.
That'd be creepy to see.
Yeah, it would. 70s clothing. Ugh.
Say they booty shorts.
I don't know. I'm thinking bell bottoms.
Oh.
So there you go. That is Rock Canyon. Yeah.
Interesting. We go from Native Americans to 70s bell bottoms.
Yeah, I don't know that. I don't know what the correlation there is. I didn't really find where those two things click together. But
Well, he could have been one of the
Rock
rock
climbers,
climbers
yeah.
that fell, or
He
could
yeah
have just
commit suicide, or he was murdered, or fell
Well-
on accident. I don't know.
well, I mean, was satanic rituals more popular in the 70s than they are, say, today, or even the early 2000s?
I don't know because they didn't have internet back then. So I mean, don't think we would have seen it as much.
Right.
Like how we have Facebook now. Oh, this.
I saw Jan. She was cutting up a goat in her backyard.
No, I don't have goats. Fuck goats.
I don't know. I think it's interesting to think that, this is a place for everybody's spirits to go, and they kind of all attracted to it. So
Maybe it was a place they loved.
could be. Yeah. They say it's gorgeous out there. I don't know.
I'm sure it is.
I bet it is.
I've looked over so many things the last few days. I watched something about some hiker that got lost out by Area 51, never been seen again.
Ew.
Looking for a cavern out there, and he got lost. But they think the
Well,
government
it's very, isolated. I mean, a lot of the ranches and stuff are really far spread out,
Right.
and it's just really open land out that way. So
Absolutely.
not like here where
Everybody's
5
on top
miles
of
you have a
everybody's on
town
top of
and-
each other. We don't have enough space to build enough houses around here anymore.
True.
All right, let's move on. We're gonna move on to the man in the yellow slicker.
Ooh.
Yellow slicker.
One of Park City's most infamous ghosts is that of a man wearing a yellow slicker. And he has indistinguishable face. Nobody's ever actually seen his face. He haunts the hills and the mines near the town. The figure has been considered the harbinger of death, and residents reported seeing a man in a yellow slicker before the explosion in the mines claimed the lives of 34 men. So as I dug into this a little bit more, they talked about whether he was like what we talked about with Mothman, whether he was there and caused disaster, or whether he was there to try to prevent it. And they say that's kind of where that comes from. But others say that he is the ghost of a murdered miner whose body was cast down one of the 600-foot shafts.
Oh.
Yeah, like I said, they called him the friendly stranger because they think he's there to try to prevent things. But I have a story. Let me see if I can right here. I'm going to read this word for word. All right, you ready? Park City Ghost Tours shares a story of a local police officer who was called out one evening to investigate an abandoned car by the mines. After inspecting the car, the officer began heading toward the mines to see if the owner of the vehicle might be trespassing when he saw a figure emerge from the mine. It was a man in the yellow slicker, but where his head should have been was only a shadow. The officer ran to his car and began driving back towards town, but in his rear view mirror, he saw something yellow dart across the road behind him. Moving faster than humanly possible, the yellow object continued to dart across the road behind the car, growing closer with every minute. At one moment, all the officer could see in his window was the yellow slicker. The image was so detailed, he could even see the stitching and buttons on the coat. When he reached the lights at the edge of the town, the ghost vanished. So there, once again, was one of those, was he there to try to, keep the officer, safe and chased him out, or is he what is it?
Malevolent?
Malevolent? Yeah, thank you.
Well, because there could have been like gases in the mine that could have been hazardous, or
Right.
somebody was bad that was in there that was possibly going to try to murder him or something.
Absolutely.
So, or the thing just wanted to chase him.
He was bored.
Yeah.
He just wanted to see if he could catch up with him.
I got a bunch of energy stored up. Let's see what we can do here.
Yeah.
It's insane, isn't it? All right, you ready to move on?
Yeah.
This is my last one.
Ooh.
The Haunted Old Main is what this is called.
Main or vein?
Main.
Main.
M-A-I-N.
Okay.
Main. This actually is part of Southern Utah University's campus and has the lore of Virginia Loomis and the Old Man. Okay? As legend goes, Virginia Loomis was murdered in the late 1800s. Her body was discovered on the boulder used to make the bricks that constructed the Cedar City building in 1898. It is said that some of the bricks even contain her blood.
Oh, wow.
The supposed murderer, Stephen Farr, later in life was hired as the janitor at the university where revenge was served.
Oh.
On his first day of work, he was allegedly lighting the old coal furnace in Old Main's basement when something caused the furnace door to slam shut on his arm,
Oh, my.
and he was burned to death, unable to wrench free, becoming the Human Torch that burned Old Main to the ground in 1948.
Wow.
Dang.
It is said the ghost of Virginia has been seen laughing in the flames, and Virginia was written in Farr's skull.
Is that Billy Loomis's mom?
Who's Billy Loomis?
From Scream!
Oh, sorry.
He was the murderer.
Uh,
Oh, my God.
I'm sorry.
Oh, my God.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I only seen that movie like maybe once, maybe twice. I don't even know. I'm sorry.
It's all right. It's all right.
Neither one of you know each other's movies.
It's true.
Yeah.
But there are all kinds of other ghost apparitions, unearthly lights glowing in the third-story windows of the campus building, floating shadows swirling around the belfry, and just stuff like that. What was it? Mysterious fluting begins at precisely midnight and continues till 1 a.m.
What's fluting?
You know,
Oh. Okay.
that's the best I can do.
I thought maybe it meant like gallivanting or something.
No, fluting, as in,
The
playing
musical
the flute.
instrument.
Yeah,
okay. I got it. Not the skin flute, though, right?
Nah, it is a university campus. What kind of fluting goes on there? I have no idea. So there you guys go. A little bit of haunted Utah. There are a lot of places out there, a lot of really cool things. But yeah, I think the fact that Virginia fucking carved her name in that her murderer's skull is fucking badass.
Yeah. I
Good
would
for
love
her.
to see a picture of that.
I know, right? There, there's probably not one.
No, not at all.
So what do you think?
Very good.
I liked it.
Right on. Good deal. I'm happy you guys liked it. And like I was saying earlier, I really want to do that sometime the beginning of next year. I wanted the three of us to study Skinwalker Ranch, and then we all come in and talk about it and kind of share what we find. I think that would be an interesting episode. So
Yeah.
hopefully we can do that after the first of the year.
Sounds good.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. All right. That's all I got.
Beautiful.
Beautimus. It's beautimus. All right. Are we ready to get out of here then?
You want to hear what Sean just texted me?
Absolutely.
He goes, if the dove is the bird of peace, what is the bird of love?
Wait, I should know this, shouldn't I? The bird of love. The bird of love is the cockatoo.
The swallow. Sorry. That's awful.
She's not wrong. She's not wrong.
Not wrong.
Not wrong. All right, guys. Well, we're going to get out of here. Everybody have a safe and happy new year.
Happy New Year.
And once again, thank you guys for being a part of the Tusop family and the Golden Mojo family and tuning us in every week to listen to our shenanigans and our scary stories. So we really do appreciate it all.
We do.
And we look forward to bringing you another year of the United States Paranormal. And maybe some new things are going to be happening. You never know. But don't forget, January 10th, we're going to be live. Live. We'll be joined by Chico Noise running all of the bullshit that knows to be run so that we can all focus on what we're doing. And it's going to be a good time.
Yes, it will.
Yep.
All right. Well, keep it spooky. And I'll see you on the other side.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to the United States of Paranormal. Check us out at theunitedstatesofparanormal.com or at any other of our social media pages. At Twitter at TOSOPPOD, at Instagram at the United States of Paranormal, or Facebook at the United States of Paranormal, or YouTube at the United States of Paranormal 1795.
Please check out our other podcasts in the Golden Mojo Entertainment Network. The Call Guys, Golden Image Podcast, Indiana Chiefs Fans, The Golden 80s, Murd Nerds, and A Quart of Books and Booze.
And if you have a location you would like us to check into or a creepy story that you would love to tell us, please email us at theunitedstatesofparanormal@gmail.com. Please like, rate, and subscribe wherever you listen.